Feeling overwhelmed with everything you think you need to do in order to be successful and to also be financially profitable? Well, then you're going to want to stick around for today's episode as we welcome our special guest, Mel McSherry, who will be joining us here in just a moment. So let's dive into it. Can't say I never tried to warn you, and I'm just trying to tell you. Hello and welcome to the Live Advantage Show. I'm your host, Ed Troxel from edtroxel.com, where I make video marketing simple, and I also help you with your online business development if you need that. And today I'm super excited because we're going to have a special guest. But before we bring on our guest, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, which, shameless plug, it's my program, the Live Advantage program, which is helping you get more comfortable with stepping in front of the camera and also learning how to use video, specifically live video, in your online marketing efforts to help you stand out and really be able to connect with your audience on a whole new level across multiple channels. Because it's not just about social, it's not just about your website, it's not just about email marketing, it's about all the things that tie into each other. So if you want to learn more about the Live Advantage program and how I can help support you with your video marketing efforts here online, go check out theliveadvantage.com. And if you have any questions, you can always reach out. There is a chat on there. Now, let's go ahead and bring on our special guest and dive into today's episode. Hello, Mel. How are you?
Hello, Ed. I am fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. Go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone so that they know who you are.
Fantastic. Well, my name is Mel McSherry. My pronouns are she, they, and I am an international business guide, speaker, and author of the book, She Profits, the 5-point entrepreneurial profit plan.
Ooh, so right there, She Profits. How did you come up with that? Let's just dive into that because that stood out to me.
So it came about as an inspiration or an addition to the talk I've been doing for over 2 years now. And the entire inspiration around both of those was to show entrepreneurs, especially women and femme-identified entrepreneurs, what they need to do in order to create what they want in the time that they have. And since I started doing that talk, I've spoken over 200 times in the last 2.5 years, both here in the States and internationally. I wanted them to have more than just me in the room for 45 minutes. I wanted them to have something that was tangible that they could take with them and continue on the conversation that we started, as well as give them those extra stories, testimonials, and inspiration to show them that they truly have full say on how they spend the time that they have, and that they can be profitable mentally, emotionally, and financially every single day, no matter the time or energy that they have.
Yes, and you bring up some key points there. It's not just financial, because I think a lot of us get so focused on the financial part, especially in the beginning stages of entrepreneurship. So let's talk about that, how you expanded that, because everything else that you mentioned ties into getting to that financial freedom, that financial wealth.
Yeah. And that stems from my own journey. I've been an entrepreneur for over a decade now. And when I first started, I definitely fell into those pit holes that I see all of us kind of fall into those first couple years of you just want to know what to do and how to do it. Like you know your why, you know why you want to start your business. But when it comes to the how, a lot of us are not really connected to how we want to build our business. We just want somebody, and I'm saying the royal we, because this was basically stepped off of me. I just wanted somebody to tell me what to do and how to do it. Yeah. And when I found those mentors, they were amazing. I implemented everything like a mother, and I did see some pretty amazing financial results. However, I couldn't enjoy any of it. I was making 6 figures and I was miserable. I was tired. I was a new mom. I was overextended. I felt like I had to constantly hustle. I never celebrated anything that I accomplished for myself. It was just, okay, you hit it. Great. What's the next thing? And you just keep moving over. And it wasn't until honestly COVID that I had the permission to just go, okay, There's something much deeper than this, because I have done all the 6 figures in 60 seconds kind of BS. And yes, it's applicable. However, this is not why I started my business. I became an entrepreneur because I wanted to create my life by design. So then it was that step further. What the fuck is my design? Like what does this actually really look like for me? So it was actually taking those steps that I talk about and that I walk you through in She Profits, and taking them into that emotional and mental profitability aspect. Everybody says they want to be financially free. Beautiful. Why? Like, yes, not so I can pay for stuff, so I can go on trips. Okay, but what does that bring you? That brings you joy, that brings you adventure, that brings you, stability, sleep, comfort. Those are the reasons, and those are the things that continuously motivate us when things shoot to shit, because we know it's something deeper than just, did I hit this goal? It's, am I really living my true design and creating what I want to create?
Yes. And that's so important because you're right. We get so caught up, especially in the online world, when we see all of this 6-figure, 7-figure,
Yeah.
hit these milestones, and you're making all this money, and it sounds like you can make it overnight. And it's like, okay, but what do you do when you hit those? And if you're not celebrating them and you're not enjoying the journey, then what's really the point?
Right. And also, too, the fact that we punish ourselves if we can't do a process from start to finish. We think that we're failures because, we'll get a book or we'll buy a course or we'll do something, and we'll inevitably, most of us will get stuck at one point. And instead of trying to figure out another way to utilize the tools that they gave us, we just go, well, fuck it. And then we stop it and we move on to the next course, right? Yep. There really is no one size fits all process. But when you do get connected to how you want to build your business and how you're designed to work, then it's easier to customize. I talk about that a lot in She Profits, is how to customize your plan of action. And when I first would talk about that, I got a lot of pushback because people would say, well, you don't know my business. You don't know. You're right, I don't, but you do. So It's giving you the permission to go, okay, I know that this part I definitely need to implement. This part I'm good at. So we can actually table that until it might come back at another time, and customize. What do you want to focus on today that's going to help you be profitable mentally, emotionally, and financially?
Yes. And when you talk about that section right there, is that a daily thing that people are working on? Is it a weekly thing or a monthly? Because, we hear so much about, 90-day goals and you have your goal, and then you have your 90-day goals, and then you're doing all this stuff. How do you kind of break that down for people?
So how I break it down is I show them how each step can be used big picture and how to use them as just grounding check-in questions. So even the first step in my book is identify what you want. Now, to some people, that's like, well, I don't have time for that. Like, I want everything. Then it's okay. So how do I identify that to what do you want to accomplish in the next 6 months? And then from there, what do you want to accomplish in 3 months? And then even day to day, it's looking at, okay, I have this much time to work on my business. What do I want to fill it with? So it's always that continual check-in question. And the customization just gives you that permission to customize it. If you're having a shit day and you don't want to talk to anybody, beautiful. So what on your prioritized to-do list can you do that's going to get you closer to what you want that matches the energy that you have? Maybe it is just emails. Maybe it is you go into a Google Drive and you archive some stuff. That's still taking steps toward your business and creating a stable foundation. It's never a da 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 da, right? It's like that. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok where it's like da 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 da. Like you gotta kind of dance a little bit.
Yes.
But because that's the beauty of being an entrepreneur, though, is we have permission to do that and celebrate that. Celebrate the fact that you have this space to say, what do I want to do today? And how is that going to make me feel profitable? And go for that.
Yeah, I love that you break that down and give that permission to all of us, because it is something that even I go through too, where there's days where I know, let's say I need to connect with people on LinkedIn, and I am just not in that zone. I'm not in, like, in the zone, because it's not just about connecting, right? Like, for
Right.
example, LinkedIn, you can just hit that connect button, but it's about intentionally connecting with the
Yes.
people, and also making sure that you're following up with a message that's appropriate, not just an automated script. And so
Right.
it takes a lot of mental brain work and
It does.
energy, I should say. And it's one of those things that I need to be in the right zone for that, even though it says I'm supposed to do it, Monday at 8 a.m. doesn't
Right.
mean that Monday at 8 a.m. is always going to work for me. And so being able to give myself permission and saying it's okay if it doesn't happen at that time of that day,
Yeah.
find something else that's also on your list. So I love that you put that out for us.
Because the two words that I think we get too hung up on are routine and consistency. Ooh. Routine to me is just, so my routine is checking in with myself and going, okay, what do I want to accomplish today? That's my routine. I don't have a everyday, but that's just the way I'm designed, right? Everybody is designed differently. So if you're more of that person who's like, no, I need to have everything time blocked, beautiful, customize this to how you work. But the consistency, it's not about doing the same thing every day. It's doing something that is sustainable. That's consistency. So if you find that you only want to post or have the energy to post 3 times a week on LinkedIn or once a week, but the consistency and the value is there, you will get rewarded. People will look forward to your post. Don't just post a post. Don't just do something because it's on your list and you're like, meh. Be intentional. I love that you brought that up. It's all about that intention, because when you add that into it, then no matter how often you're on, if the intention and the quality are there, the consistency will be rewarded. And that's how you continuously build those relationships. And again, be profitable, because you are laying the foundation for something that is truly connective and not just, word vomit and numbers based.
Yes, exactly. And you brought up a great point about the posting, because I know, a lot of people feel overwhelmed when it comes to social, and the consistent issue of I have to be on every platform and I have to post at least 3 times a day, and figuring out what to post and comment and all the things. And it's like, it's a lot of pressure. And so you brought up that point of being able to really pick and choose. And this is what I tell my clients too, is if you can only post once a week minimum, then that's fine. Like, do what you need to in order to relieve the pressure, so that you can show up as your best self and that you can actually do what you're doing.
Yeah, utilize your strengths. I guest lecture pretty regularly at DePaul's social media class. And one of the things that I stress to them is that exact point of, you don't have to be on every single platform, because 1, as a solopreneur, you don't have the time. And 2, your client doesn't live on every single platform. So looking at who is your ideal client and where do they go for their information? And on the other end, where do you already have an established voice? Start there. Like that in between, that's where you start. And when you start building up the consistency, then it's okay. Now that I have this consistency, I can take that extra time and energy I used to spend on it, because it wasn't as organic as it is now. And I can move that onto another platform and start building that up, or I can pay somebody to do it. So there's a lot of ways that you can still always stick to your strengths in parallel with building out what I call that not so much area. That is that next step into creating what you want.
Yes, it's so true. And I love too how everything we've talked about so far has stemmed from the book and being able to have that as your guide. When you first started, I guess I should say, to getting the book, how long roughly was it before you were like, I need a book, and that book is going to be like my roadmap for people? Because I think that's an important thing for people to consider. It's not just a book, but it's actually a great roadmap, not only for yourself, but for everyone you talk to.
Yeah, it's that when people ask me about, when should I write a book, it is still about that intention. That's where it always falls in line with is, well, what's your intent for this book? And most people don't really have that figured out. And to be fair, you don't have to have it all figured out, but it's just that mere intention of, I knew I wanted to do it because I have spoken so many times, and I love, as much as I loved traveling, as much as I did, especially in 2018, 19. I'm a primary caregiver to a special needs son, and I don't want to be on the road all the time. So for me, it was, what is that next level where I can reach the people that I want to reach with my goal of helping 1 million women entrepreneurs create the business, the money, and the life that they want without me having to like bounce around. So
Yeah.
it really came about to where I was ready for that next level of, I want to go from one to one into one to many. And to me, what was that natural first step? It's to release my book and for more people to hear my base formula or approach. And then from there, be able to create more and more outreach through social media and everything else that I'm now going to create moving forward.
Yes. And so just for listeners to recap that part, you started with talks, then
Yes.
found your voice, your framework, and then created a book for it so that then you can go from one to many and be able to reach more people with that. And then basically use it as a lead magnet, it sounds like, in order to have those conversations and to really be able to open the door for those opportunities.
Yeah, it's definitely helped me, again, take my time and energy that I used to spend, seeking out speaking events, because I used to spend 20 minutes every morning when I first started just applying and researching and all of that, to I don't do that anymore. I have, not only because I've spoken as many times as I have that I just get people now approach me, but with the release of the book, people now come to me and say, hey, I would like to be on your show. I would like you to speak here. And so I've been able to take that time and energy and now move it into the community and, the other things that I want to start developing to continue on this one to many platform.
Yes. And since we're talking about platforms and social, what have you found for yourself? Because of course, everyone's different and everyone's ideal audience is going to be different, client. What have you found in terms of the major networks, social networks, to work really well for you with connecting with your audience?
My two are LinkedIn and Instagram. Yeah, because my ideal clients, or the clients that I tend to work with, are in kind of two, I don't want to say different buckets, but two different timelines on where they are in their businesses.
Yeah.
For my solopreneurs, for my babypreneurs, for those who've been in business, 1.5 to 2 years, which is what my book is pretty much aimed at. Those are my Instagram people. That's where I found just a lot of opportunities to be on shows, to share my voice, to share my book, and just to share my message a bit more through my Instagram stories and through all of that.
Yeah.
On the other end of the spectrum, I have these amazing women and femme-identified professionals who are deciding, after being in their line of field for, a decade or more, they've never heard about emotional or mental profitability, and they want to explore that more as either they turn into an entrepreneur or even just step away from being the leader that they have been for the last 20 something years. So that's my LinkedIn people, is showing them a different way of thinking, a different way of goal, of goal orientating, and showing them more how that mental and emotional side that probably most of them negated to hit those financial goals is now probably biting them in the butt. And this is what they need to do to start creating that holy trinity.
Yeah. And I love that you have Instagram and LinkedIn, because so many will be using Instagram, but maybe aren't seeing the results they want on Instagram and maybe thinking it's them, which it definitely could be. I mean, there's always that possibility. It could be them, their posts, all of these things. But you bring in LinkedIn, which is, we hear all the time that it's that untapped network. And it's really, really important, I think, for all of us to spend some time on LinkedIn, because there's just so many. I know that over the last couple months, I've been spending more time over there, and it's so different than what I thought it was from a while back. And the connections I've been able to make, like with you, have been really awesome. And it's just a different vibe on LinkedIn than on other social platforms.
I hear a lot that people feel LinkedIn is intimidating because it is so professional. And
Yeah.
it was originally built for that, for you to just share your resume, to look for a job, to kind of just have it, this running CV on a platform. And with this newer generation, they're showing their personality more, which I love. As an elder millennial, I'm all for it. And it's something that I had actually, not always, but I had done for a while. And I did get some pushback. I had some people, I posted a video, I don't even know how long ago, and I cursed in it. And I did put a hashtag, warning adult language. And I got some pushback by some, 60-year-old white men that said, well, sorry, I'm not going to watch your video. They took the time to comment that, but they didn't take this. And they were like third-degree separation.
Yeah.
So I knew this was going to be a little bit of a conversion factor, but I also knew if I'm on LinkedIn and I see the value in it, I want to work with me. Like my ideal client is me personified. So showing others that it is okay to show your personality on LinkedIn, because that's what we're turning into. We're now stepping away from just words on a page, resume, acclimates, to who is this person and will they fit in the culture of my company? Or do I want to hire them as a vendor because this is how they speak and this is how they present? That is extremely important. So never feel like you have to code yourself on LinkedIn. I get asked that a ton if my posts are worded differently on Instagram than they are on LinkedIn. Nope. Every curse word, everything. I might take away a couple of the emojis just for character count, but honestly, it's the exact same content I share except for my stories on Instagram that I move over to LinkedIn. And that's how I've been able to create amazing relationships like with you and others that I met, because they know who they're going to have coffee with. It's not this like, oh, she has a shaved head and says fuck sometimes. No, they know exactly who I am. And that's why they want to have coffee with me.
Yes. No, and you bring up such a great point, is that we are in a time where personal branding and just being able to really showcase who you are as a person plays such a huge role in how others are going to see you and be wanting to connect with you. And that's how you stand out, that's what I love about live streaming, and why I even started in the first place was because it was the only thing that would make me stand out from the other posts that people are sharing, and be able to really showcase my quirkiness, my geekiness, my fun character, without trying to figure out how I can perfectly caption an Instagram caption,
I call it those Bali babe posts where it's like, it's that Bali picture with the stage, just like that tells me nothing about you. Where, when you make references to Doctor Who or Harry Potter or Friends, I'm like, yes, I know you. Like, I can connect to you on that level. And then it's finding, okay, what do I want this partnership to be? And this is even when I stalk people on social media, like, what do I get from them? Is this something that do I want to work with them? Is this just somebody that just really makes my day? And we need to have those different buckets filled. We can't be everything to everyone. And even if you feel like you're saying the same things over again, you have to, because you're meeting people at different points in time and nobody even remembers that you've said that before, honestly. And the other fear is that they're like, well, I'm not saying anything new. None of us are. Like half of the quotes out of my mouth are from the books behind me. But the way that I say it and in the context that I use them, it's different from that original purpose. And that's why there are so many guides and coaches and things, because we do have just that originality to it that creates connections with other people who that originator possibly never connected to. There's always room for new people, always.
Always. And I love that you bring that up too, because that's something that I've even have had conversations with people who are in my similar field. They work with video, and I'll ask them to promote themselves, on a promo thread on Facebook, or we'll have a conversation or whatnot. And it's always fun for me because I'm totally for everyone working together, because everyone comes to the table with something different and unique. Even if we do the exact same service, our people are going to be different. They're going to be attracted to each of us differently. And that's what's important to remember, is that there's plenty of work out there. There's plenty of people to go around, and it's just really focusing on who you are, what you bring to the table, and how
Yes.
you're going to help someone.
Exactly. And that brings that all back into, that easy trap to get into of copy and pasting when you're first starting out. You just copy and paste whatever your mentor says or whatever you think is being popular at the time. And the reason why you're never going to get the results that you fully want or seeking after is because it's not you. And people can smell that a mile away. So the sooner you get connected to how you want to work, why you want to do what you do, and what your voice is, then the easier it is going to be to start building those long-standing relationships bit by bit, because it's always coming from you. It's not coming from an angle. It's not coming from a pressure of a goal. It's not coming from, well, I have to say this. It's literally becoming this very organic, beautiful growth. And that's how you become profitable, is just that beautiful sustainability that always comes from you, not from an outside goal or an outside voice.
I love it. Before we wrap up here, did you have anything else that you wanted to share? I know you have a free community that you had mentioned to me, so let's talk about that. And if you had anything else that you wanted to mention before we let you go.
Yeah, most definitely. So my community is actually hosted right now on LinkedIn. However, we will be moving to Mighty Networks, which I'm super excited about, in the beginning of June. But the community it's a growing process, which I really love. What it is not is my group. I don't pop in there and say, hey, learn what I can do and do this. It is a member-driven and populated collective where we have a space where we can come together as entrepreneurial-minded people and talk about what we want to talk about that's affecting us or our business, celebrate what we want to celebrate, learn from each other. Within there, I have a membership vault where every member is more than welcome to create a 5 to 10 minute training video and post it in the vault for everybody to learn from each other. We have a directory. We have monthly hangout calls where we talk about goals, and we're going to start hosting events in June, which I'm super excited about. So it's really just this beautiful, open, inclusive space where anybody who feels like they haven't been seen, heard, or recognized as an entrepreneur, and they're just tired of being told what to do, can come into this space and ask questions and share their knowledge and learn with each other and grow and create that change that we all want to create as entrepreneurs.
I love that. That's so exciting.
Thank you. And to access that, as well as I have a ton of free resources, those are all on my website, melmcsherry.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Mel. And for those who are listening, we have that link in the show notes for you, so you can check that and connect with Mel, both on her website, also on LinkedIn. As you can see, she's super awesome, so be sure to do that. And we just appreciate you taking the time today, I should say, to hang out with us here on the Live Advantage show. And we appreciate you being here.
Well, thank you so much. I'm so honored to be here, and this was a fantastic way to start my day.
Awesome. Thank you so much, and thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you next week at 9 a.m. Pacific here on the Live Advantage show. Take care.